Now, live and in studio on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, your real estate and financial experts, making sure you win in every market. Your financial partners, Don and Gino.
Welcome back to the Don and Gino Finance Show right here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, your hometown heroes. That's right, guiding you to personal and financial wellness. And that's what our goal is every single day, not just Thursdays, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Of course, that's where we share it with you. But we'd love to share it with you on a regular basis. Why don't you like us on our Facebook page? Go to donandgino.com, and there's a little Facebook logo. And like our Facebook page, and you'll get all kinds of great information from us on a regular basis, especially coming up soon. We have put together, we've been teasing you for some time now about this incredible group of professionals that we've been aligning with for the last 3 years. It's taken us this long to find the best of the best in Santa Clarita, and one of them's here with us today. This is Lisa Odom with McDowell Odom. Lisa, what do you think about being part of the America's Professional Resource Group? Pretty exciting, huh?
It's so exciting. I'm really excited about it. It was a good group of people. Everyone has been so friendly and helpful, and looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Isn't it nice to know that now you'll have the ability to reach out and help more people with all the great experience and knowledge you have?
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's going to reach a lot of people, especially in our valley, which I think is going to be fantastic.
All right, so look forward to the America's Professional Resource Group. We're going to even have a weekly magazine that's going to go out that will give you tips on mortgages, on trusts, on estate planning, from our CPAs, financial planners, you name it, you got it. It's going to have a travel section. It's going to have some of the best restaurant recipes in town.
My favorite, the wine section.
Wine section. I have my buddy who has the #2 wine blog in the nation. #2, works out of Napa. The guy is connected. He's doing our wine blog for us. How cool is that, huh?
As long as he sends wine, that's
he
what
does.
I want.
He actually sent us another case of wine.
How come I didn't see any of that? Not that I can drink it for another 8 days.
Yeah, you got 8 days. I got 5 days, and we are done with the challenge. But then again, over 100 pounds lost in the studio right here. So join us in the studio. Check us out. donandgino.com. It's that easy. donandgino.com. Okay. Today, we are going to discuss estate planning, and it's an important topic, and even if it isn't for you, it will be for somebody you know, whether it's your parents, your children. This is stuff that you really need to know. It's interesting stuff. It's great information, and Lisa is great about describing it in a very user-friendly manner. If you were to look at this stuff online, you go, yuck, yuck. But Lisa is your local professional that's going to walk you through this. She's a really nice person. You don't have to be afraid of somebody who's going to look and try to help you set up your wills, your trust, and all that. She'll actually give you ins and outs and what you should look at and what's important and how to protect you.
And Don, if you don't mind, I'm going to jump in real quick. Lisa, one thing I want to touch on, because I think the #1 question for your field is, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't have enough money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the #1 thing we hear. I hear it every single day. I'm looking at property profiles every single day, investing amendments, because that's what we do, right? We're in the real estate industry. So I'm constantly looking at how people take title and ownership to their homes, and it's devastating. It really is, to know what the possible impact in their future is. So tell me, if I'm an entry-level person just starting from scratch, what's a trust? Why do I need it? I only have a $300,000 house. I have $5,000 in my savings account. Is it for me?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, the word, I think where some of the difficulty comes is the word estate. I think people immediately think of an estate as being, some big sprawling mansion in Beverly Hills, which it's not. If you own any property.
So that's not the definition of an estate?
Nope. Really, the definition of an estate is your assets, whatever they are. And in particular, you mentioned real property. If you own real property in California, it's almost crazy not to have a trust, because other than if you hold the property in joint tenancy, which if you own it in joint tenancy, when one person dies, the remainder person gets to take the entire, tenancy, and they own the property outright. But if you don't own it in joint tenancy and you pass away, the only way to transfer that property to your heirs is through probate or a trust. So you have to have a trust in order to avoid probate. And
why is probate bad?
She said the P word.
I know. It's a scary word. It's a really long, drawn out process, and it's really expensive. On a $300,000 estate, The probate costs are about $9,000. Just if that was the only asset, was a $300,000 house.
So by not protecting yourself, you're just kind of giving that away.
Absolutely.
Besides, not including all the hassles.
Oh, yeah. The hassles are a whole other issue.
Like, no, that's even worse.
But, I mean, just in statutory legal fees, you're talking about, several $1,000s. And then there's also statutory personal representative fees, which are another. They're the exact same amount as the legal fees. So basically, two people are taking from the pot right off the top. On top of that, it's based on the gross value and not the net value. That's a big thing to understand, because one of the things we hear from people a lot is that, well, my house is worth $500,000. I owe $600,000, so it's not going to cost anything.
You pay on the $500 regardless, even if you're in negative equity position.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that? A few of us are in negative equity position. Actually, let me see. I have the numbers here. This is so cool. How about me, huh?
Yeah.
6.5 million Americans are still have negative equity. Now, good news is 4 million less in 2013 due to the increase in values of, let's just say, between 12.5% nationally and 24% here in California.
Leading the way.
Yeah, that's right. We're only
Not
behind
quite.
a couple. Yeah, right there. Nevada, Phoenix.
Arizona. First in, first out.
Yeah, the
Big
ones that
crash,
got
big
hammered.
growth.
Hammered. Yes. So anyway.
So that's some of the pitfalls of not having the trust, because the trust will help protect and help avoid probate. And probate is also obviously a legal proceeding. It's opened in court, and if you're in the Santa Clarita Valley, that typically means we have to go downtown to administer, which is super great.
Yeah, we all love leaving the valley.
Oh, yeah,
Just
especially
the
for an
cost of-
8:30 hearing.
Yeah, just the cost of parking alone might cost more than getting a trust.
There you go. There you go. Especially when you get
Good.
that parking ticket going, oh, man.
Exactly. So a trust will avoid that, and it also gives some privacy. When you file a court action, everything is public. It's up for public consumption. But when you have a trust, it's very private. People don't have to know about the nature of your assets or who you're giving them to. In a probate, it's very much in your face, and people can get them if they know where to look. So
kind of important stuff.
it's so important.
All right, we're going to make sure that they know how to get a hold of you throughout the show, because I know a lot of you out there like us often go, I probably should talk to Lisa. I probably should have a trust, or at least find out how much it is, what it entails. I think you'll be surprised, because a lot of people think because you have an estate planner that it's going to cost you a lot of money. It's protection. It really is. No different than the insurance.
I was just going to say
How about that? I saw you
just-
jumping in. I got you before you can say, I'm going to jump in on that. Tom. See, we know each other pretty well, huh?
A little bit.
But yes, it's just like paying insurance on your home, insurance on your cars, and this is on your entire estate. You might want to get that.
And, one of the things that's interesting, too, and it's, sometimes people get a little careless because they have life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, well, I've got life insurance. They can pay for the legal fees out of the life insurance, et cetera, et cetera. Don't forget, that's going to get taxed, too. That's part of your estate.
Well, yeah. I mean, right now the estate tax amount is so high. It's basically a married couple can pass $10.5 million to their heirs without taxation. So for many of us normal people in the world, we're not super concerned about estate tax right now.
I haven't worried about that.
Yeah, that's not the biggest concern, but what is a big concern is if you're not seeing an estate planner and going through all of these assets, there's different issues that come up, like what if your whole family dies in a car accident, God forbid, all at the same time?
Unfortunately,
And
that does happen.
it does
sometimes.
happen. And so now you have, let's say you have $2 million in life insurance policies and all of your heirs are dead. Now we have to probate that asset. So when you meet with an estate planner like me, we go through that and we talk about ways of avoiding those results so that those types of things don't happen. And so again, even if it's not your children or your immediate family who are taking your estate, your other heirs, because
Well,
really,
most people wouldn't plan for those contingencies. I guarantee it.
No, and that's a huge part of the difference with meeting with a lawyer who's going to advise you with respect to your assets and tell you how to properly deal with each of those contingencies, than just trying to figure it out on your own and navigate that quagmire.
That's called experience.
Yeah. I mean, it is imperative to work with a real professional that knows what they're doing and what are the things you need to think about and what questions to ask. And I mean, I wouldn't even have thought of some of that stuff. I mean, you think no big deal, it'll just be handled, but not without a plan. I would imagine too, Lisa, that when they walk out of your office with a plan protecting their heirs, their spouse, their children, their family, it could be even your sister, your brother, or your dad. all that stuff matters, because I know if, God forbid, something happened to my wife and I, my family, it would be passed on to my sister and brother and so forth. But if it's not handled correctly, then they got to deal with the hassles because there's no plan in place.
That's
correct?
exactly right.
All right. So let's talk about you, I say, trying to handle your own wills and estates without a real professional. Good thing we have a professional in the house here on the Don and Gino Show. So we're going to touch base on the pros and cons of trying to do your will and estate planning on your own. Oh, this is going to be a scary subject. Please stay tuned, because it's important to you and your family when we return to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220.